feel great about that, other than trying to help people who are in a state of invasion. Welcome back, everybody, to the Immigration Answer Show. This is episode number 890 of the Immigration Answer Show. Today is halfway through the month of August. Today's Friday, August 15th. Today's payday. And I got with me here my good friends Lady and Huli, helping out with the comments, helping out with the green room. And I just had a great visitor to the office. So I'm in Chicago and I had our first official visitor, and I'll show you her picture here in a little bit. It was very exciting. I was quite surprised to get a little knock at the door, and there she was, a former client of ours, and made me very happy to get to meet a former client and a big proponent of the show. You guys will all be glad to see her picture in a little bit, so stay tuned for that. I will be here for the next hour and a half. I'm an immigration attorney practicing law today out of our office in Chicago, also in San Diego, Washington, D.C., and our home office in St. Louis, Missouri. How are you all doing? How was your weekend? How's your week going? Are you ready for the weekend? That's my question. I am ready for the weekend. We are up here. Nor has a softball camp at Loyola University of Chicago tomorrow. So Amani and Nor are flying up here in a little bit. Inshallah, they'll get here safe and sound. I went to the Muslim Community Center of Chicago today and went to Friday prayer. Met some nice brothers at the mosque. I got spotted from YouTube, a brother from Tajikistan, I think, or Kyrgyzstan, one of the two. And he said, "Are you on YouTube?" I said, "Yeah, that's me, dude." So we had a nice chat. But like I said, we'll be here answering questions for the next hour and a half or so. I'm going to start with Mr. M, then Love, then Rick. Mr. M, hello.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So, so this is what's going on. Married my spouse that entered without inspection. EWI, a new word I learned on your show.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we had to file our 130 and the 485 separately. Because we hired this really hot law firm to file the delayed 485 mandamus. I'm not going to say the name of the law firm, but it was really, really hot. Yeah, they must have done like over 2,000. I hear. Anyway, so we expect our interview is going to be coming up here soon. So we're going through all of our records, and I noticed with our I-130, which is our I-130 is approved. The I-130A, some of the information was not completely filled out. It looks like he forgot to put in all of his addresses for all 5 years.
Okay.
As well as there was one self-employment that he didn't list also. So is this a problem? Should I type up like some type of errata sheet and bring it with us in case we are asked?
Yes, I think that's right. So I wouldn't even say in case we're asked. I would say at the start of whenever I give them an errata sheet, it's like we give you our identification, we give you we get sworn under oath, and then I hand you my errata sheet so that there's no confusion that you update it. I mean, these aren't central issues as to whether or not your spouse would get a benefit. So I don't think it's as crucial as other things, like when people have like hidden things that are important. But I think you just update your address and go from there.
Okay. Once again, it was one of his prior addresses that went back to like 2016.
Not a big deal.
Okay. But certainly though, provide that to the officer.
Just because it's easier for them, because they might have to update it in their system, and if they can just read it off there, then they're not asking you, how do you spell Washington? You know what I mean?
I gotcha. Okay. The other thing is, so I work for a pretty big company, and my company recently had a couple of big layoffs. So what I did was I started applying for other positions because I just don't want to find myself without employment, obviously, since especially like I'm expecting, we're expecting this 485 interview to be coming down the pipe pretty soon. We've been waiting like two years. So here's my thing. So I submitted some resumes recently, and I have an interview schedule with another big company that does similar work. Anyway, but it's coming up next week. To be honest, I don't like it. This is my second interview with them, so I'm pretty sure that they're pretty interested in bringing me on, which is fine. But I don't know if I should, if I want to be like messing things up here. Like if I certainly, I'm not talking. I'm talking about if I end up leaving my current employer and going to a new employer, is that going to follow up the I-864 that we already submitted?
Only in two ways. One would be if there was a big gap in employment. So like if you couldn't show when you show up for, I mean, first of all, understand that most affidavit support issues are decided at the service center before you have your interview. So they probably won't even revisit it, especially if you make a decent amount of money. They probably won't revisit it. But as long as you're not going to have a big period where you're not making enough money that might knock you below the poverty guidelines, or that you don't have, pay stubs to show that you're working. If those things are not true, I think you're fine.
Okay, so just simply like it would certainly be like at or increase at the same level of pay, so and responsibility. So I would just so you don't see any issue with that, like them coming, because I'm expecting them to try to, since they've delayed this thing for almost two years, I'm expecting them to try to find reasons why to delay our case even further. So I just didn't want to like. I expect to get an offer, then I'll give my 2 weeks and I'll just start, and there will be.
I wouldn't let the fact that your partner has a pending immigration case impact whether or not you take that job or not. I think you'll be fine either way.
Okay. That's it. That's all I have, sir.
Awesome. Thanks, Mr. M. Have a good day.
Yeah, thank you. You too.
Hey, everybody. As I mentioned, we are in Chicago for the weekend, and I have a goal for this episode of the podcast. So we have right now for our Chicago office, we have 23 reviews for the new location here in Chicago. And I want to get that up to 30 by the end of the show. So if we can get from 23 to 30 reviews, that would mean we would need 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 7 reviews. We want to get 7 reviews by the end of the show. So I'm going to post the link directly to our Chicago office. And if I could get 7 people to just leave us a review, maybe say a few nice things about us or just give us a 5-star review, a couple comments would be great. But if you could leave us a review and then just leave me a note in the comments that you did it, then I'll give you a shout out on the show, and we'll thank you that way for adding us. And if you get any value out of the show, we'd really appreciate it because it really helps us spread the word about the good work we're doing at hacking. Missy's here. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Missy.
Greetings. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
My pleasure.
Okay, so I filed my I-130 for my husband, and I filed it in February 2024. Now, my first question is it still, because I realized like when I use the tracking system, it says that people that filed in February 2024 have received a notice that it's been approved or something. I just want to know, is it in line or it's just a normal time processing with my case?
This is an overseas I-130?
Yes.
And you received
yes.
Is when?
February 2024, 21st.
And as of right now, you don't have a decision on the I-130 from USCIS?
No.
Has he ever applied for a visit visa to the United States before?
No.
Have either of you been married before?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Did your prior marriage involve you getting an immigration benefit or your prior spouse?
So my first one was in I had my papers through VAWA.
Okay,
And
so you came from Ghana, you got married to someone, and that marriage
Mhm.
went sideways. The spouse was abusive, and then you got an immigration benefit.
Right.
And then you became a citizen,
Yes.
and then you married this person and filed for them.
So then I had another marriage which didn't go well, but that was in Ghana. It didn't go well. So but I never filed. I never filed any
So this is
I-130.
This is marriage number 3.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds like they're sitting on it. Sounds like you came on a visit visa, or did you get a fiance visa, or what? How did you come originally?
I came on a J1.
Okay. And so right now we're at 8. So you're at 18 months. That's sort of on the outer edges of where I-130 approvals are taking. So that surprises me a little bit that you don't have a decision yet. So they're probably holding it up for extra scrutiny because of your immigration history, I would think.
Okay, because I did an expedite because I had deployment orders. So I did an expedite through my congressman, and he was told that they were doing a background check.
Yeah.
And that has been since April.
I don't believe any of that stuff. You probably need to sue them probably here pretty soon. I'd give it another month or two, maybe save yourself a little bit of money. But if you hit 20 months, call me back, and then we can sue the USCIS. They will move pretty quickly once we sue them because they know that the State Department still has to decide the case. You might also, while you're waiting, I would do a G639. It's free. You can do a Freedom of Information Act request for your file. I would say, please send me all immigration documents related to my alien number. And then if you wait 2 more months and you get that FOIA back, then call me back and we can probably help you.
Okay, so with the G639, how do I do that? Can you go over it?
It's online. It's really easy. You don't need a lawyer.
Okay.
You just fill out the information. Just when they ask you, what do you want? Say all immigration documents. That's the key. All immigration documents. In fact, I have a YouTube video on how exactly to do it. So if you want to check out that video, that you can do that too.
Okay. Now, but I heard another attorney saying that you could file with your country. Is that a thing?
No, not something you'd want to mess with.
Okay.
You've been waiting a long time.
Okay.
Thanks, Missy.
All right. Thank you.
Bye-bye. All right, look at that. Our friend AJ gave us a 5-star review today. Brent, hello. We're trying to get to 30 Google reviews for our Chicago office because I'm in Chicago today. So AJ just got us up to 24. So thank you very much. We appreciate that. All right. That was Missy. Let's go to Rick. Hello.
Hey. Hi, how are you there, Jim?
I'm good, Rick. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you. Thank you very much for your contributions to our community. It really inspires all of us, particularly me, to help my community in more precise way. So thank you once again for doing that.
You got it, man. Thanks.
Yeah. I've been listening to your show for the last 3 years. I had only participated once last year. Anyways, get to the point here. I have a friend who's a citizen here, and he married to an Indian national. He was engaged to an Indian national, and she came here on a K1 visa and got her conditional green card, and then they filed I-751 to remove the conditions, and there's a stamp on the passport. Anyway, right now she's due for the citizenship naturalization, and she's a doctor and he's a doctor. She's only doing some extra medical courses right now, and he lives in Chicago because he lives there. That's their home, and their medical practice is there in Sugar Grove area, I believe so. And she's pursuing some extra courses in Michigan. and they are worried about filing a naturalization. Their question is, I'm asking on their behalf, actually.
Sure.
Their question is, should we go with N400 because she's been away, so she doesn't come home, but he goes like twice or thrice a month, and he has all the documentations of his travel, gas, putting a gas in the car, staying in a hotel, pictures and all that. And they have a letter from the dean that she's studying there, and the course ends like in 2.5 years to go, more like she started in January, and the course ends somewhere in 2028. So what's your legal counsel on that?
And the fundamental question is, can we apply under the 3-year rule even though we live apart?
Yes.
So in the old days, yes, that worked all the time. That would not be a problem.
Okay.
But the Biden administration changed the rules, and to my knowledge, Trump hasn't changed it back. Okay. It's not just 3 years anymore. It's 3 years of living together in marital union. So I think that even if you have a legit good reason for being apart, you can get your conditional green card approved, and it shouldn't be a problem when you apply under the 5-year rule. But my understanding is that because of changes in the interpretations by Biden, you can't take advantage of the 3-year rule unless you're living together every single day for almost every single day for those 3 years.
No, they have not been living together. I mean, since January, like when she came, they were married, they've been living together. But January 2025, she got admission in one of the reputed universities in Michigan. And she's there, but she hasn't been to Chicago in this 6-7 months. But he has been there multiple times, have all the evidence to document, everything is documented.
That's all good for the 751. And, even at the 5-year mark, they might ask about the marriage, but it's just sort of a black letter rule now. So I don't think it's going to work.
So it's not so for me to tell them, I'm sure they're listening to the show.
Yeah.
So for me to tell them is like, just hold on for a few more years and let her stay on a permanent green card for some time.
I would say it a little bit differently.
Okay.
I would say if you file now and tell them that you're living apart, you'll be wasting your money and the case will be denied. You'll have a denial on your record. And so there's really no good reason to apply.
Okay. All right. So my second question quickly is another friend from Denver, and he went for the citizenship and he filed N648 medical certification for disability. And he went to the interview. The interview went very well, everything going well. As he was leaving the office, I believe the officer was a little clever or whatnot. And the officer asked him, hey, can you stop? Can you read this? And guess what? He read it.
Yeah.
He read it. And then they sent him a note like, you have to come for the second interview. And we don't accept the doctor's note because you can read it. And he said, yeah, I can read it if I bring very close to my eyes. So right now his case is up in limbo. So what do you suggest him? Like, should he call your office, explain everything to you, or wait for the letter to come from the USCIS about, citizenship?
So here's the thing. How old is he?
He's around about 28, yeah, 28, 29.
And so the question for his disability is whether he's blind?
Yeah, he's blind. He can't read, but he still works. That's what he told me. He works in the restaurant, just do the dishes, but he's blind. That's what he's saying.
So I mean, what you said, the doctor's. So to me, the fact that you said doctor's note tells me that's a loser disability. Now, I would say that for disability cases, there's a sliding scale. So the younger you are, the harder it is to win. Just by definition, the younger you are, the harder it is. The older you are, the easier it is to win, right?
Correct.
And you say something like a doctor's note. A doctor's note is not going to cut it for a 648 because you need months and months of treatment for the condition upon which the person is claiming the disability. And so therefore, you can't get it approved because whenever you do a 648, they always give you the chance to pass the test, right? They always give you that chance. And if you pass the test, they're happy. They don't have to do it's extra work for them to approve a case with a disability waiver. So I would think for a young person who works for a living and is able to read something handed to them by the officer, that's going to be a really tough case to win.
So what should I suggest him? Like they haven't sent him any intent to deny or any denial notice. They told him to come back again, which he went with his wife. His wife came because he applied green card for her. He's a green card too. And she came and she went with him, and they waited the whole day. And as everyone was leaving around about 4:30, he was told oh, go home, we'll send you a letter. That's it. That's what his wife told me. So they are
by statute, they have to give you 2 shots. So or by regs, once you pay the fee, you get 2 shots no matter what. So that has nothing to do with the merits of the case. What they're doing is they're saying, we're going to give you the opportunity to take the test, and if you fail, then your N400 is going to be denied.
Yeah, I don't believe he did the second test because they called him. They sent him a notice, and he went for the second test, but they didn't do the test, and they sent him home. They're
just confused he's confusing them. That's all.
Okay. So what should I suggest him? Do you call your office and get it straight?
No, I would tell him to start studying for the test.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Bye, Ray.
Thanks. Bye-bye. Bye.
It's going to be very hard in regular times to get an N648 approved for people that are in their 20s. I would just say that unless they have a legal determination that they're legally blind, I think that's going to be tough. Hey, our friend AJ, Alejandro, and Mike helped us get up to, anybody else that I missed, helped us get over. AJ apparently has multiple Google accounts, so we appreciate that. But let's keep going. Let's see how many we can get to. We were at 23 when we started. Nene, thank you for the review. That's awesome. We appreciate it. I was going to let you know that a good friend of the show, Alejandra, who left us a review, came to see me today. So Alejandra, we helped with her 751 and her N400. She brought me some treats, some lime peanuts, and some chocolate raisins from Mexico. So that was very nice. But mostly, I was excited just to have the chance to see her smiling face. She works right around the corner. So, and it's funny because she said she listens to the show, like she's back on episode 840. So she's got a while to catch up. But she was watching the show yesterday and the day after. So she was able to know that I was coming to Chicago. And she just knocked on my door and came on in. We snapped a picture, had a nice chat, and we certainly appreciate her and her support of the firm and the show and the new review. So thank you, Alejandra, for that. And there I am. All right. And for everything else you do, Alejandra, thanks so much. All right. Juggernaut says, Jim, have you ever heard a story on the show so sad that you just help the person for free? That has in fact happened. Probably happens a couple times a year, I would say. But don't be calling me up with sad stories. April, hello.
Hi, Jim.
How are you?
Thank you so much. I didn't expect that I'd be next, but thank you so much for all the information that you have on your show. So I have been coming back and forth to the USA for the last several years. My last entry is using a tourist visa. We suddenly decided to get married. So I did enter end of February and we got married in June. So I have 2 questions. The first one is, should I file our I-130 petition online or by mail? This is both our first marriage. And then the second one, okay, so maybe that one first.
I actually have a different question first. What is the day of your actual entry?
It's February 23, I think.
Oh man. My sister, I am going to beg you to file everything before your 6 months are up.
We are filing it this Monday.
Okay, so in answer to your question, I would not file the I-130 separately. I would file the I-130 and the 45 together, and I would get it out the door tomorrow if you can.
Okay.
You're going to send it Federal Express?
Yes.
Do you know why I'm asking you to do this?
Yes. Oh,
because
no.
There's now a huge difference between filing while you're still in status and filing while you're out of status. If you file while you're in status, then they can't issue you a notice to appear in deportation court while your case is pending. But if you file after, they're updating their rules, and it seems to be that pretty soon they're going to start giving notices to appear in immigration court for possible deportation if you file it after your 6 months are up.
Oh,
So we need them to get it as fast as we can and hopefully receipt it before your 6 months are up.
yeah, my 6 months is up next week.
Right. Because you said it was February 23rd or whatever. So,
Yeah.
So I would really, really, really try to get it out the door tomorrow if you can.
Okay.
Do you have your medical? Do you have your affidavit of support and stuff?
Yes.
Because just the I-130 by itself doesn't do anything. It's the 485 that really protects
Yeah,
you.
I have the I-130, I-45, and then I have I-130A, I-864, I-765. That's yeah, most of the forms are completed. So my second question is, I'm a business owner to several small businesses, co-owner in the Philippines. And during COVID, when we were struggling with finances, we were not able to pay the employee benefits on time. So a complaint was filed against us by an employee of ours, but we did settle it eventually. But I guess, the some of the offices are not that technologically what's this? The technology isn't that great. So that office wasn't aware that we already paid and settled everything. So a case was filed with us, under the business's name. And we made a first appearance in court to ask for the dismissal of the case since it has been settled. And then after about 3 weeks, we did get the dismissal letter from the court, like the desistance and everything. So my question is this to be part of the I-485, since this was like I think a miscommunication between the cashier and the social security office, and they were not able to initially reconcile the payments, but then when we showed them that we paid, they were able to reconcile it, and that's why the case was dismissed.
Okay. So this was for a business that was inside the United States?
Business that's outside the United States.
Was the lawsuit brought in the United States or somewhere else?
No, just in the Philippines.
So you're saying that you have some business in the Philippines, you have some employee dispute over taxes that's all been resolved, and do I think that's going to keep you from getting your green card? Is that the question?
Yes, I mean, should I put that information on the 485?
Where would you put it? I don't know what question would cover that. I can't think of one that does.
Oh, because there's just like several questions there. If something has been filed, I think 485.
It's all in the United States stuff.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think you need to worry about that.
Okay. So yeah, I think that's about it.
Good luck, April. Get that thing done, okay?
Okay. Thank you so much, Jim.
Bye-bye. All right, we got JH and GO. We got a full house down here. I'm just going to sail right. Look at Hooli. So there's Jim Hacking JH, Hooli Halleck JH, and now we're going to call on caller JH. Hello.
Oh, hi.
How you doing?
Thanks for everything you do. I know a couple of people have already thanked you, but I've been watching your show for a little bit now. I keep annoying my husband about having to go on this. But anyway, so basically, my husband is currently on OPT, and we filed our marriage-based green card packet, the I-130, the I-48, I-765, I-130. Well, I guess you could have advanced parole if you want, but we also filed the I-131 on there as well.
Okay.
Okay, so the reason why I'm calling is because his OPT, he graduated, and so he graduated in May, and his OPT runs from June to June. So June of next year. So we have some good time, except his degree is in public health. And as you know, there's been huge cuts across the board to a lot of jobs in public health, just with the new administration and stuff like that. So a lot of the jobs that he could get are slashed across the board.
Sure.
So he hasn't been able to find a job since his OPT started in June. And as you know, there's a 90-day, I guess, like there's 90 days of unemployment you can use, right? And his OPT is coming to an end in 2 weeks. So I looked, and I think, is there, so he said that you could volunteer if it's related to your degree of study, and if it doesn't violate any like labor laws, you know what I mean? And if it's 20 hours a week. Is that true? Do you know?
So is the reason you're calling me because you're worried about him being here after his OPT runs out, or it's because
Yes. Yeah, and the other thing is he's applying to jobs and he's getting interviews. So my concern is we let OPT fall off, right? And then we basically risk just him like praying that the I-765 comes in time, if he gets a job offer from somebody else, to arrive in time to get the job. Because basically, you know, like today, a lot of people absolutely want an employment card, you know, to basically say that you can work here.
Sure.
And also, it makes me incredibly nervous that we would be falling off of OPT because he used up too many unemployment days. And
Okay,
we risk,
so is this causing you to be worried at night?
yeah, a little bit.
Okay, so first of all, everything's fine. Nothing to
Okay.
worry about. Take a deep breath. You're totally fine.
Okay.
Okay. So what's the receipt date on the 485?
So they received our stuff 2 days ago on 8/13.
So you don't have the receipt notices yet.
We do. It's 8/13 for the 485 and then 8/7 for the I-130.
And if you have an interview, which field office do you think would have your case?
Well, we put down so we live in Kansas City, so it's the Kansas City, Missouri field office.
So I suspect, given what we've been seeing lately, that you and your husband will have his green card interview in about 2 or 3 months, maybe 4. So I think that's long before, and I think you might have your green card interview before he even gets his EAD through the marriage-based adjustment case. So we have OPT covering. We have him. Go ahead. You sound suspicious.
Oh, all I was gonna say is, should I be concerned that he's used up the 90 days of unemployment, more than 90 days?
So that's all forgiven because you're a U.S. citizen.
Even if he's on OPT, like.
Yeah, as long did he use up his 90 days before you filed?
So his 90 days started on June 1st.
So he's never
filed.
Worked on OPT.
Sorry, what'd you say?
He's never worked on OPT?
No, this is the first time. Because he's an F1 student. Sorry, I should have clarified.
No, that I get. No, that I understand. So here's my question. So the EAD that he has from OPT, what's the start date? June 1st?
Yes.
Has he had a job between June 1st and today?
No.
Okay. So June 1st, that means June, July, August. That means that we still filed within his 90 days. So he's still in valid F1 status on the day that you filed.
Yes.
So I don't think you need to worry about him getting a notice to appear. I don't think you need to worry about him going to deportation court as long as the case gets approved, right?
Yeah. I guess my only thing is we kind of need money at the moment.
Yeah.
And if he gets a job, in the next like let's say a week after his OPT runs up, that would really suck that we couldn't start at that moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So what I would say about that is that's going to be a window where until you get the EAD or the green card, he's probably not going to be able to work.
Okay.
That would be a violation of the F1. Now, with you, it's all forgiven because he's married to a U.S. citizen, but there would be that time period where he's sort of exposed because he's working without authorization, and that's no bueno these days for sure.
Yeah. Is there a way you can volunteer if you pick up enough hours though on OPT and that can count towards not using your unemployment days?
Yeah, but I don't know what that gets you, because if you're just trying to keep the OPT alive is what you're saying.
Exactly. Yeah, we're just trying to keep it alive until the other EAD comes in. That's all.
I understand. No, that makes sense. That's actually pretty high level thinking. Pretty good, kid. Yeah. So the question now is, how much OPT does someone have to volunteer in order to keep their EAD alive? And not that I don't know.
We were looking at that, and it's at least 20 hours because
That sounds
OPT
right.
has to it has to be either full-time or part-time. The only thing that I get concerned about, especially after just watching the current immigration climate, is can you go to these people that you're volunteering with, which is a reputable clinic,
It's
you know what I
legit.
mean?
Yeah.
It's legit that you have to sign up for shift time so you can prove that you've worked a certain amount of hours. Can they deny you asking to put this down on, you know how you have to fill out stuff online to keep in, it's like Sevis, I think. You have to fill that stuff out online. He's going to ask on Monday because we already signed him up for 20 hours this coming week. But is it possible that they could turn you down for wanting to help you? You know what I mean? Some people don't want to deal with it at all, but you're basically just reporting that, like, hey, I'm working here. I'm not working here, but I'm volunteering at this place. Like, is there a way that that place could say, oh, I don't want to help you?
The employer or the school?
The employer.
Well,
even though you're volunteering for them.
I would say yes. I would say employers have the right to do whatever they want when it comes to accepting volunteer hours. Yeah.
Okay. So basically, he's already picked up 20 hours, but he has to put like a name and a number of a supervisor. So I guess if the supervisor is very uncooperative, that would be a problem for us, because then they could be like, I don't want anything to be on any kind of immigration. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I don't know. I guess we can just see on Monday what's going to happen. But we just want to keep the OPT alive, at least for a little bit longer, you know?
It's on life support, that's for sure.
It's for sure on life support. Yeah. But let me tell you one thing. I'm a US citizen, and this immigration stuff is no joke. I give everybody who has to go through this a lot of credit. I give you a lot of credit because it is stressful, you know, across the board.
For sure. Thanks, JH. Good luck.
Thanks.
See you, kid.
Bye.
All right. Lots of good questions. Hey. We're up to 33. That means we got 10. Half of those are AJ's, but we appreciate it. Anyone else want to leave us a review? If we get to 40, that would really, this is like when I was a kid, I used to love the Jerry Lewis telethon on Labor Day weekend. In fact, if Brent's still watching, we used to volunteer to answer the phones, and like you'd be on television and say, "Oh, if we could just get it to $1,000, that would be really great." So, thank you for the link, Hooli, for posting that. I appreciate everybody leaving us a review. Gio, hello.
Hello, hi Jim. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Thank you for what you do for the community. I'm holding my baby in case you hear some noises in the background.
Oh, that's okay.
So I'll give you some background or timeline about my case. I came to the U.S. November 2020 on a B visa, the tourist visa. I overstayed, and then I filed asylum. My asylum was denied, and then I got a removal proceedings. And then my attorney, he filed for the case to be terminated. Yes, so the case was closed.
Yeah.
After that, I married my U.S. citizen boyfriend at the time. We got married. The relationship was very bad, domestic violence, and he filed for me. But like the relationship was so bad that I had to file restraining order. So we didn't finish the process of the petition, the family petition.
But it was filed.
So yes, we did file. I received all the notices, but the relationship was getting worse and worse. So I just had to file for restraining order because I couldn't put up with the whole situation. And then after that, I received a letter that I'm having an interview. So I decided that I was going to go to the interview without him, but my attorney came with me to the interview. So at the interview, the counsel, the official, he was like very surprised, like, what's going on? Like, what's your husband?
Right.
So my attorney, he tried to explain, like, well, he's not here because there's a restraining order that happened like 2 months before that. And then she was like, okay, let me go talk to my supervisor. She came back and then she was like, I'm sorry, but the case is going to be denied. For the 130 to be approved, the husband needs to be here. So next month, I received the letter, the decision letter, and which says that the case was not granted, and then saying that I have to leave the country in 30 days.
Did it say denied or withdrawn?
It says denied.
Okay, thank you.
And then on the same letter, it says you have to leave the country in 30 days or 33 days.
That's right.
And then, so I didn't leave the country because I was trying to file VAWA because I have pretty much a lot of proof to show that marriage was valid and the restraining order, pictures, etc.
Yeah.
So then after that, I met somebody else, which is my current husband. So I got married again with a U.S. citizen. We have a kid. We have a baby. And my question to you is, when we already filed for the petition again, so this is going to be pretty much my third petition because I had the asylum and then the second one, and then this is again the family petition. So my question to you is, on the I-485, one of the questions where they ask you, have you overstayed, and all these questions, we did add that I was on removal proceedings due to the asylum case, but the attorney didn't add the 33 days time to leave. Is that something that I should have added?
As far as, no, you're fine for that. That part's fine. I have some other questions for you though. Is that okay?
Sure.
Is there anything in the asylum case that you're worried about?
Not much. Maybe just the timeline of because I had the removal proceedings and then I got married the next month. So that was like kind of fast.
The next month after you were in removal, or the next month after they were terminated?
I think it was actually the same month, because on May, that's when I went to the court, and then on June, that's when I got the decision to close the case, and then I got married like on June 10, the same month.
And you said that you had lots of evidence of the abuse, and again, if I didn't say it already, I'm sorry that you had to go through that with him.
Thank you.
Did you have a lot of good evidence that the relationship was real?
We did have the apartment lease from different two addresses where we were living together. We had pictures. We had the bills. We had bank statements where we had like statements together.
Yeah. So really, this is the fourth application you've had. You've had the asylum case, I-130 number 1, which got denied because he didn't show up, the I-360, and now marriage number 2.
Yeah. However, the VAWA, I never end up filing it because that's when I met my actual husband.
You never filed
because I was gonna do it, but I was afraid of if he ever files for me, it's like, okay, now you have four petitions. Like that's like too much. So that's why and then also the other, when I mentioned the dates, I got divorced from my ex-husband on June this year, 2025. And then I got married to my husband on July 2025. So that was like 1 month after. Those are my only concerns. And I mean, there's a reason why everything happened that way. Because, first of all, my husband and I, we were trying to get married before our baby was born. But we couldn't do that because my ex was just giving me a hard time to sign the documents.
How long
So,
was the divorce on file?
so I filed a divorce on October 2024. And then he signed on May. And then the divorce decree, I received it on June.
And when did you start hanging out with the person that you're now married to?
We met March 2024.
So you were still married at the time?
I was still married at the time when we were in the relationship, when I was pregnant.
Were you separated?
Yes, totally. Like, I haven't seen my ex since the restraining order happened in 2023.
Okay, good. Okay. Do you have you and your husband have a lawyer for this new case?
We do, yes.
Have you done a FOIA you have a very thick immigration file. If I were your lawyer, I'd want to see every piece of paper that they have about you. Has anybody done that?
No, I don't. The only paper he told me to get was the letter from the judge, the dismissal from the case, which I already got.
Do you have a date certain for your interview, or you're getting an interview, or how? I guess your case hasn't been on file that long, right?
Yes, so I filed August 4th.
Okay.
And I've been tracking everything on my online account because I had the previous one. And I received yesterday on the mail that we received your I-485 and everything says on the USCIS page, though, it says 24 months. It says like a couple days ago. And then yesterday when I checked, it says 25 months, 21. So it went down 3 months.
And you're sure the person that you hired is a actual immigration lawyer, right?
Yes, it's a group.
Okay. Yeah, I would definitely do a FOIA to get your asylum file, get your court file, and get your USCIS file. You should talk to your attorney about that. Tell them that you want to do that. You can do it yourself, but you should still tell your attorney you're doing it, okay?
Okay. And then when I get that, what do I do with that?
You read through it and see what bad things they said about you. I think this is a tough case.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, it's a tough case, especially in this climate, right? So, like, the way things are operating now, if you had shown up with your spouse and were out of status, they would have put you in removal right then that day. So, things are tightening up, and those opportunities to file multiple applications are going to be few and far between. So I think this is a really tough case. Make sure you have a good lawyer and that you got lots of evidence, but you're probably going to have to prove not only that your current marriage is real, but that your prior marriage was real. And I would say the abuse too, even though you never filed the VAWA.
Yeah, I never filed, but I do have the restraining order, pictures.
I would say this is a case that's your current lawyer can't treat this like a normal immigration case. They got to treat it almost like 2 different or 3 different cases. You got to prove that what was the purpose of your visit when you came on your B1, B2?
Well, that was a tourist visa, but then I overstayed because we were having issues back then with like gang members.
Mm-hmm.
My brother was killed, and then while I was here in the U.S., another family member was killed.
I'm sorry. Yeah, so you're going to have to prove all that stuff. You're going to have to prove I didn't file a fake asylum case. I didn't file a fake marriage case. I had to divorce that guy because he was abusive. He tied up the divorce as part of his abuse of me. And I was waiting for a long time to marry the person that I actually love. And we wanted to get married before we had the baby. So it's a high burden. This is not an easy case. It's approvable, but I think this really is going to depend on how good your lawyer is.
Okay.
All right. Thanks,
Yeah.
Gio.
All right. Thank you. Thank
Bye-bye.
you, Jim. Have a good day.
For sure. All right. Let's see. Somebody had a nice comment here. Here it is. Apply Zoya Inc. My green card was approved. Thank you so much for your useful videos. How about that? That makes me happy. All right. That was Gio. Let's go to Yashua. Hello. Hello. Yourself. Yashua! Remember, we had this happen before. We'll put it. He must be working hard. He's tired. We'll come back to old Yashua. That happened once before, but somebody actually had the camera pointing at themselves. I remember he was sitting on the floor with his back on a chair, like where your legs would be. He was he was sitting right there, and his phone was propped up, so it was sort of like his t-shirt belly and his face, and he was like this, and he was snoring. We'll go back and check on Yashua in a minute. Sal, hello.
Hey, Jim. How you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Thanks for being awake.
Oh, that did not work with him. I was like hoping that he would wake up, but yeah. I have some good news, Jim. If you remember, I was the guy who moved from Midwest small town to Chicago, and my oath ceremony got delayed. I finally had my oath ceremony last Monday. So
great. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you for your help throughout the whole process. I really appreciate that.
Can we add you to our list of 10,000 people?
Yes, please do.
Awesome.
That's
great. Coolly, send me a note, please, will you? Awesome. Thanks, Sal. What can I help you with?
So I just want to join just to ask, like, I want to apply for petition for alien relative to bring my mom to the U.S.
Great.
I haven't got my passport, but I feel like I should be able to apply the petition since I have the certificate of naturalization.
That's true.
And my question is, so I have my mom and I have 6 siblings. Can I apply for all of them? What do you suggest, and how the sponsorship works for like the income?
That's a great question. So how old is the youngest sibling and how old is the oldest sibling?
So the youngest sibling, I believe, 22 years old, and the oldest is 43.
So they're all over 21?
Yes, that's correct.
And how many of them are married?
2 of them are married.
And what country is everybody from?
They are from Afghanistan, but they live in Saudi Arabia currently. They reside there.
So do you know about the long delays for the cases of brothers and sisters? Do you know about that?
Yeah, I was reading about that online.
So if you applied for your brother or sister today, you're talking 16 to 20 year wait for each brother and sister.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, here, let me show you something. I'm going to show you something just so that it sort of sinks in, okay?
Okay.
And this is the way that anybody...
You are on mute, Jim.
Sorry, I must have hit a button. I always tell people that if you apply for your brother or sister, that you're a real optimist, that you're going to be alive and they're going to be alive. So if you look right now on the visa bulletin, I'm going to show you for Afghanistan. So that's brothers and sisters of U.S. citizens. Share screen, visa bulletin, share. That they're giving out immigrant visas now for people whose brother or sister applied for them on January 1st, 2008. See that, the F4 category? That's brothers and sisters of U.S. citizens. So what is that, 17 years, 17 and a half years? So mom is an immediate relative of a U.S. citizen. So mom can come as long as it takes to get a visa approved, I-130 approved, which is like 12 months. And then another, I guess she'll do her interview in Islamabad or in Saudi. So then you're talking so it'll probably take 2 years for mom to come. But for brothers and sisters, you can see how long of a delay it is.
Okay. So when I was reading about it, like if I don't apply and I wait for my mom to get here and she gets the green card, when she applies, it would take the same amount of time, right?
Let's look at that. So it'll take her, let's say it takes her 2 years to get here. So the ones that, so mom can't apply for the ones that are married until mom gets her own citizenship, which takes 5 years after mom's here. So that's 7-8 years, right?
Okay.
And then so the married sons and daughters of U.S. citizens, that's the F3 category. That's a 14-year wait. So yeah, you're talking 20 years for them too. For the unmarried sons and daughters, that's a 9-year wait. So the ones that aren't married, they can't get married the whole time that's pending or their case is over. But mom could apply for them and it would just take 10 years.
Oh, wow. Okay. So do you think it would be a good idea for me to apply for the ones they got married and the one that's potentially to get married soon?
I mean, yeah, just as you understand that they're not going to get here till they're 60. And don't think there's ways to speed it up or it might get better. I don't think it's going to get better. It's only getting worse.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh wow. I was not aware of this because when I was reading online, they said like 7 to 10. I did not expect that much wait.
Yeah. Sorry, brother.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you so much, Jim. I really appreciate your help.
Bye, Sal. Happy for you, buddy. All right. Let's go back to Yashua, see if he's there. Yashua? Still snoozing, I think. All right, we'll let him go. All right, let's go to Lulu. Hello.
Hello, Uncle Jim. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing, Lulu?
I'm good. I was at work and busy. I forgot to tell you that I got approved last month for my green card. I hope you remember me. Anyway, I have a question. Are you still there? Hello?
Hi, Lulu. Sorry, but it looks like we lost Jim for a second. Give us just 1 minute, okay?
Okay.
Meanwhile, well, everyone, just remember to let us a review. I will share again the link with you guys about the new office in Chicago. Okay, and remember, if you're looking to hire a legal team to help you with your case, give us a call at 314-961-8200. Remember, once again, if you're looking to hire a legal team to help you with the case, okay? If it's only for guidance, remember, we have Mr. Jim Hacking. So yes, Tony, the scroll attacked again. Give me just 1 second. I love you guys on the comments. You guys are the best. Let's see. Give me just 1 second. Let's give it a try. I'm sorry, but I need to make some space to give the chance to the attorney come back in, okay? Oh, let's see. Well, I want to say hi for everyone on the law firm that is watching the live too. Everyone loves this, even the ones that we work every single day fighting for immigrants. Let me see. Lady Studios full. Okay. On it. So give me just 1 second.
Sorry about that.
Get him back. The squirrel is in Chicago too.
Yeah, the squirrel took the plane ride with me.
Yes.
Thanks, Uli.
You're welcome. Bye, guys.
Lulu, what's up?
Hi, Uncle Jim. How are you? I'm sorry. I forgot to call. I got approved last month.
I'm very
And
happy.
thank you. I have a question. I have a child. My child is like 18 years old, and I want to ask if I file for him, is he gonna age out or
How did you get your green card?
sorry?
How did you get your green card?
Through marriage base.
So are you married to a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
You should have your spouse apply for them.
Oh, okay. And then I have one question more, please. Sorry, sir. My friend, she's from South Africa. When she was filing for the B1, B2, they put that she's married traditionally. So we went to the court. In the court, they write the court to dissolve the marriage, but they can't give a divorce decree. Is it all right to use it to file?
You're saying that
When she was applying for the visa.
she hired somebody in South Africa to help her fill out the paperwork, and they said she was married when she wasn't.
Yes, traditional, yes.
No, they didn't say traditional. They just said married. They didn't
Yes.
say traditional. So that's a big problem. In their mind, she's still legally married to that person.
Oh, so now she need to divorce, a real divorce in South Africa?
Well, but she still has another problem, which is she made a misrepresentation. She lied to get into the United States. That's the big. I mean, those are two big problems.
Oh.
So her case is gonna be a whole lot harder because she lied.
Oh, okay. Not a problem. Thank you, sir.
Bye, Lulu.
Bye.
All right, let's go to EB2 NIW question. Hello.
Hello, Jim. Good
Hello.
afternoon. Thank you for everything that you do.
Sure.
Well, before I ask my question, thank you for the show. My wife was able to get her N400 sorted out, so you can add her to the list of people that you've helped, including myself. So
awesome.
Let's make the 10,000.
Awesome.
My question is, I have a family friend who came into the US August of 2013 for a first degree. And they got a PhD and graduated in summer of 2022. Now their STEM OPT just ran out, I believe, July 17th of 2025. However, they have an approved I-140 NIW for October 2027, 2023 is the priority date. And the question now is, can they file for the adjustment of status within the 60-day grace period?
You're telling me it's that close?
Yes, it's that close. The OPT expired, the STEM OPT expired July.
So what's their priority date?
October 27th, 2023.
So in what country are they from?
Nigeria.
So it's current.
It's current, yes.
I don't know the answer to this question, but if they will email me, I will try to do my best to figure it out. I'll talk to Andrew and do a little research and let them know.
Okay. All right. We will get over to you. He'll send you an email with the details and, so you can get back.
Sounds good.
Well, that's all I have. Thank you very much, Jim.
Thank you, brother. Thanks for the call. All right. Juan wants to know if we represent people in Louisville. Yep. We have an attorney right across the river in Indiana. So Louisville's an easy one for us. But as David says, immigration is nationwide. MA in the house. Hello, MA.
Hello. Hi, Jim. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Yeah, I'm calling you from Nairobi, Kenya. I have been watching you for quite some time now, and I'm so impressed with what you're doing just to help people like us here. Yeah. So I'd like to let you know that we applied for my I-130 back in July 2023. And by that time, my spouse was still a green card holder. So luckily in June this year, he got his citizenship. And he's just texted me that our case we've been upgraded now to IR1.
Great.
Yes. So I just wanted to know how long will it take now for the USIS to approve our I-130 so we can move to the next stage? Yeah.
What's the receipt date on the I-130?
The date, the PD date, the PD.
Yeah.
31st July 2023. Yeah.
So it's been pending 2 years.
Yes, yeah, because when the application was done, he was still a permanent resident. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
how long ago did they upgrade him to IR1? Because I think it usually takes about 60 days.
I think because when he applied after his naturalization, he sent the email to the USIS after on 3rd. I think it was on 3rd of June. And after that, we followed up because we thought it would be upgraded within 30 days, but they did not. So we kept on. My hubby kept on sending inquiry and just a follow up with the USIS, and then they just told him to wait. They even reached a point where they had to suspend him from sending the messages to him. Yeah, and it was really frustrating because we were expecting them to do the upgrade immediately after, and then he went through the Congress, and that is now when they acted upon it.
And so when do you think they started treating it as an IR1? If you
From the email, they say the email is dated yesterday, the 15th of August.
Today.
Yeah, yesterday.
What city does your husband live in?
New Jersey.
That sucks. Okay.
Yeah.
I would say if 60 days go by, so if you don't have a approval notice by October 15th, call me back and we can sue them. I know what to do, but I don't want to waste your money. If they just started treating it as an IR1 today, I think you're probably about 2 months away.
Oh, all right. Because there's an email response that from the Senate office. So this is how it reads. So it says, "Thank you for your inquiry on behalf of your constituents requesting to expedite the Form I-130 petition. Expediting a case enables it to be quickly assigned to an officer. However, U.S. citizenship, USCIS records indicate that your constituent's petition was recently assigned to an officer. Also, USCIS records indicate that the visa category has already been updated to spouse of a U.S. citizen. Our record also indicates that USCIS is conducting further review of your constituent's case. We cannot provide a time frame for completion of this additional review. However, once this additional review has been completed, we will take adjudicate action on your constituent's case." Yeah, that is the email from the USIS office.
Yeah. So give it 2 months and then let me know, okay?
By 15th?
October 15th.
Oh, all right.
Thanks, MA.
Yeah, thank you so much. So I'll send you an email then.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
Thank you so much. And may God bless you.
Thank you. You too.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah, bye. Yeah, bye.
All right, that was MA. Studio's full. TikTok says, is there any way to understand if someone's past records are clear in USCIS, being green card holders? Well, you always want to do a FOIA. You always do a Freedom of Information Act request for that. Robert asked, Jim, have you ever had to go to Guam or another territory for immigration purposes? No. I had the world's craziest case ever from the Marshall Islands, because back in the 90s and the early aughts, they were selling babies in the Marshall Islands to come to the United States. And as often happened with those adoptions from the 90s and the early 2000s, people did not take care of their immigration business. So everyone take care of your business. People would adopt these babies and not make sure that they were U.S. citizens. And then we had to scramble. That was a crazy case. Tarek, hello. Tarek, you're on mute.
Yeah. Hi, Jim. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Well, I'm calling you just to thank you, actually. I don't have any questions, but I just want to thank you for being part of my immigration journey for the past 3 years and more. I got my citizenship only a few weeks ago.
Awesome.
But your videos, they were inspiring. They were very informative. And I wish if you were closer to hire you, but unfortunately I was in Ohio and I thought I would communicate more with my attorney. But yeah, I just want to say thank you. You are awesome. Your videos are awesome. I can't thank you enough. Honestly, you helped me more than my attorney himself.
I'm very happy, Tarek, that you're a U.S. citizen. How was your ceremony? Were you excited?
Yeah, well, we had the ceremony in the courthouse down in Cleveland.
In Cleveland.
Yeah, it was smooth, nice. I know some offices, they have the ceremony, like not ceremony, but at the same day as the interview.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I waited. I was approved for the naturalization and the ceremony on I think it's May. I was approved, and then I had to wait until like early September, early August.
Did you change your name?
No, I kept my name.
When did you first come to the United States?
I came, well, I put my foot here in the United States on May 5th, 2021. Yeah, and then later I met my wife here. We got married, and I applied first November 15th. My first the I-130.
Yeah.
And then I went through the process one by one. And my citizenship, my N400, I applied for that early this year in January.
So it went pretty fast.
Yeah, for me, I thank God. It went fast. It took me like 3 years, 3-year-ish.
That's great. Tarek, thanks so much for the call. We're going to add you to our list of 10,000 people we helped naturalize, and I wish you the best of luck. Be a good citizen and try to do what you can to help other immigrants.
I will. Thank you, Jim. I appreciate your help again.
Bye, Tarek. See you, buddy. Oh, what a nice call. I love these calls. This just make my day. All right. That was MA, then Tarek. Let's go to Thomas. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good, Thomas. How are you doing?
I'm okay. Thank you very much for the platform. You are helping us a lot.
Sure.
Okay, so quick question. I filed my I-130 in May, and then now we're in the process of trying to do the next stage, which is the I-485. And then I then went through our form and then realized that when we filled out the I-130, we answered all the questions, and there's some questions that were not for us, like we're not supposed to answer, and then we forgot to write not applicable. Is that going to be an issue?
No. Last time under the Trump administration, they would send back those packets that didn't have NA, but they haven't tried pulling that shit yet.
Okay, so for now, we can just proceed to go to the next stage, the I-485, but now we're going to be putting NA just in case.
If you want, it doesn't matter.
Oh, okay, that's nice. That's very reassuring.
That's why I'm here, Thomas.
Thank you very much, and I appreciate you very much.
Have a good weekend, brother.
Same to you, man.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, that was Thomas. Let's go to B. Hello, B.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Thank you so much for taking my call, and I really appreciate everything that you do.
Sure.
I'm going to keep it short. So I got to the United States in 2019 on a work visa. It was a non-immigrant work visa. And then in 2020, before that expired, I applied for asylum. And then that was pending forever. Fast forward to 2023, I met my husband, and we got married at the beginning of this year. Filed all the paperwork, everything went smooth. I had several work permits, no problem, worked and got Social Security, no problem, paid taxes, no problem. However, after we got married, I got a letter saying that I have to show up for my asylum interview. No problem, but turns out that I had a work trip right around that same time. I had all the proof for it. I submitted it to them. They said we'll reschedule, no issues. Well, the problem is whenever they rescheduled, they never let me know. And so now I have no idea. I had no idea that I was supposed to show up. And then they closed my case, my asylum case at USCIS, and then referred me to immigration court.
Fuck.
Since then, I filed a motion to terminate based on my pending I-130 and I-485. I've never been out of status as far as I know. I mean, my paperwork from the asylum came back before my work visa expired.
Was it a J1 work visa or what kind of work visa?
No, it was an H2B.
H2B. Okay. So you're granted entry for your H2B for 6 months. You apply for asylum within those 6 months,
Yes.
and then it's pending up until. And so, what happened to your motion to terminate?
I don't know. They just received it on Thursday. So I'm still waiting to hear back from them. I submitted all kinds of strong evidence for bona fide marriage. I mean, bank statements, leases together, a bunch of photos, proof from vacations, plane tickets, hotel reservations with both of our names on, everything that I could gather, which I have plenty of that stuff, gathered up from 2023 since we met.
Yeah, but nobody's going to care about that stuff for the motion to terminate. So did you file a motion to terminate with a lawyer?
No, I did get some legal advice, but I did file it on my own. I got my template from them, though.
You got your what?
My template to do that, to do the motion to terminate. I got it from the lawyer, so I just filled it out and sent it to them.
When was your asylum interview supposed to be?
The rescheduled one was supposed to be sometime in May. Now, the problem is, what's weird is that my first asylum interview notice came to the address that it was supposed to come to. I don't know if they sent it to a different address or what happened. I also never received a notice to appear. I found out by checking on their website out of caution. I'm constantly keeping myself updated with everything that's going on. So, I'm checking everything. Even if I know it wouldn't apply to me, I'm still kind of checking everything.
Do you have an I-130 on file?
Yes, I do. And I have a pending I-485 as well, because at the time, I was in an immigration court. So we filed everything.
So when you rescheduled your asylum case, did you mention to them that you were married to a U.S. citizen?
No.
That you had an I-130 on file?
No, sir.
Oh, dude, you needed a lawyer a year ago. Never. Okay. So what's your question for me?
What do you think? Like, what are the chances that they're going to approve my motion to terminate? What do you think, just of the case, just, generally hearing about it?
Do you have a master calendar hearing?
Yes, I do. Next August 8.
August of 26?
Yes, sir.
I think you probably won't get an answer on your motion to terminate until August of 26.
Why is that?
Well,
just curious. I'm not questioning what you're saying.
Yeah. So let me lay it out for you. I don't know how long you've watched this show, but at least 4 times a week, somebody calls the show and says, Jim, I have an attorney. They do deportations every single day. I have a pending deportation case that should be granted a motion to terminate. But now that the Trump people are in office, we can't get ICE counsel to agree to it. We can't get a judge to rule on it. So that's me telling people, dude, go hire the most experienced, well-connected deportation lawyer in Philadelphia. And those really, really experienced deportation lawyers can't pull it off just because the machine is grinding. The machine is grinding. And the idea that you're going to be able to pull this, I mean, I hope you call me back in 6 months and tell me, Jim, you're an idiot. I got my motion to terminate granted. But do I think that a pro se respondent who's caught up in the deportation machine, who filed their own motion to terminate, is going to be able to get the ICE counsel and the court's clerk and the court to even rule on it? Do you know how many cases they have? They're in Kansas City, where I live, or that's our immigration court. There's 3 judges for like 45,000 cases. 45,000 cases. So the problem isn't even so much that you're not a lawyer, although that is a problem, and you should have hired a lawyer as soon as you realized that you got an asylum interview with a pending marriage-based green card case. But the problem is that they just simply don't have the bandwidth to look at what you filed, and you can't get their attention because you don't know how. It's hard for us. It's almost impossible for us to get their attention to agree to a motion to terminate or to get a judge to rule on it.
Okay. So more than likely, I'm gonna have to go to my master hearing, or they're gonna like let me know before, or what do you think is going to happen?
So again, I will give you the same advice I give to the other people. So there are some people that do deportation like us, like our firm. We do like, well, we're going to start doing more of it, but we do like, let's say, I don't know, 10 cases a year. Then there's attorneys in each big city at each immigration court. All they do is an immigration court. They're in there every single day. They talk to the judges literally every day. They talk to the judges in the morning. They talk to the judges in the afternoon. They talk to the government attorneys in the morning, the government attorneys in the afternoon. That's who's going to get your motion to terminate granted, not you, not me.
Okay.
So find out who that attorney is in your town and pay them a shitload of money to get you out of the deportation machine, because you're in it. And it's crazy right now.
Yeah, that's why I kind of wanted to see your thoughts on it.
I mean, in theory, they could come knock on your door and put you in detention tomorrow.
Okay.
Why couldn't they?
Well, yeah, that would have been my other question. Since I have a pending I-485, would they still be able to do that? I mean, I know they're able to do anything they want.
That's right. I mean, they have, no, that would not be the right outcome, but they have everything lined up. They have an asylum seeker who didn't show up for her interview through no fault of her own, but they're not going to say that. If they slant it, they have someone who's been in the United States with an asylum case and she didn't show up for an interview. And so we're going to order her deported and we're going to throw her in detention or something like that.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. No, thank you for your answer. I really appreciate you taking my call.
Good luck, B. All right. One more chance for anybody that wants to leave us a 5-star review. We'd really appreciate it. We are happy that we boosted the number today, but if you've enjoyed the show and have a quick minute, could Julio put the link one more time in the comments? I think Kevin's right. How can people take immigration matters so casually? When I was a new attorney and I was doing things other than immigration, I read a workers' compensation case. And in St. Louis, we have a lot of Bosnian refugees. We have Bosnian team members at our office, and the Bosnian people in St. Louis, St. Louis has more Bosnians in a city anywhere in the world outside of Bosnia. There's like 70,000 Bosnians. And I read a case, and I remember the name of it. It was like Selahovic or Semenovic, one of those two. And this guy got what's called degloved. Nurse Laura will know what this means, degloved. And what that means is he got his hand into a machine and the machine started to grind up his arm until they got to right here. And so he lost all the skin and everything off of his, it didn't cut his arm off. It just like stripped his arm of everything. If you can imagine, sort of like a chicken wing, not to be gross. And so that was around the time I was starting to do immigration and deportation. And I thought that was a very strong analogy to getting into the machine. And so I thought B was taking it way too casually and maybe a little bit too confidently, overly confident, to think she was going to, I'll just tell them what happened and then they're going to stop the deportation machine. That's not where we're at. That's not where we were 2 years ago. It's sure as hell where we aren't now, right now. All right. I-45 marriage base. That is literally my favorite thing to talk about other than suing the government and advanced parole for DACA kids. You're on mute, I-45 marriage base.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you for taking my call. So I'm currently on F1, and I plan to marry a U.S. citizen in November. So my question was about like J1, the 2-year rule application. I had back in high school, so I was admitted to this high school exchange program with J1 visa, but because of COVID, I never participated in the program because it was canceled. So I got the visa, but I never used it to enter the US. A year later, I got F1 visa, and that's how I entered, and that's my only entry to US. So my question is, does that 2-year rule still apply to me, although I did not use that visa?
Do you know for a fact that if you had to use the visa, you would be subject to the 2 years? That's what it says on your paperwork?
Correct, yeah.
Okay. So I don't know the answer to your question, but that's something that I would like to know. If I had to bet, I would say you're not subject to it. I think it probably would depend on, do you know what happened with your DS 2019 and what your agency that was sponsoring you for the J1 did with your DS 2019? Do you know?
Yeah, so I reached out to them and they don't have records of it because they said CVIS was not activated, so they don't have it anymore.
So that's helpful.
Yeah, and I got it in writing too from them.
And then what about your visa? So you actually got the visa stamp.
Correct.
And you just never used it.
Right.
This is probably going to turn on a technical review of the statute, and I would imagine that in order for you to be subject to it, you had to receive some kind of a benefit to it. So this might be one where you go to an interview and your lawyer is going to have to argue it out that you're not subject because you never took advantage of it. Does that make sense? I don't know that. What I'm saying is, I don't know that there's going to be a clear answer, and you might have a fight on your hands.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Would your office be able to help with that?
Yeah. And if you want to email me, I mean, that's something interesting that I'd like to know anyway. Because other people might, so I've been an immigration lawyer for 15 years. Someone might ask me this again in 15 years. And so I would have the answer because I would say, hey, I remember that case. So yeah, email me and then I'll try to figure out what I think the answer is. And I can tell you if I think you need a lawyer.
Okay. Sounds great. Thank you.
Cool. Thanks for the call. Yep.
Thank you.
Have a good day. All right. Bye-bye. All right. That'll do it for today's show. We are very happy with all the reviews. Thank you, everybody. We appreciate that. I will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow, I don't know when I'm going to do the show. Tomorrow's Saturday. Probably around 10:30 or 11 or so. I have to do a meeting. Oh, that's 11. Oh, yeah, they're on the East Coast. So I have a meeting at 11. So I'll probably do the show. I don't know if this screws you up, Huli. I might do it at 11:30. That's okay? Okay. I'll probably do it 12 or 11:30, but we'll figure it out. All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a good weekend. Thanks, everybody, for your great questions. And thanks for watching. Thanks for the reviews. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm great about that, other than trying to help people who are in a state of need.